Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream. How are we all doing on this Monday afternoon? Big up to each and every single one of you that is here to talk some football. But of course, with all these videos, they are just as much your videos as they are mine. It's just as much your shows as they are mine. So hit up the chat, people. Let me know where you're watching from today. Let me know who's watching. Let me know what is going on today with you lot, people. Would really like to know more about you, of course. And of course, if you're here to talk football as well, we've got a show for you that is somewhat dedicated to Liverpool Football Club. But of course, if you obviously want to talk anything else to do with football, then we will then we will go down that avenue if you so wish. So any other footballing topics, of course, make your way into the chat as well, people. I'm sure what you have to say will make for great and interesting reading and make for great topics of discussion. So feel free to get involved in the chat. Hit the like button if you haven't already and subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. Big up to each and every single one of you that's here. We are mainly today talking Liverpool, with them advancing to the FA Cup quarter-finals after a 3-1 victory on Friday night against Wolverhampton Wanderers. A little bit of revenge and redemption for that absolute humiliation that Liverpool suffered a few days earlier to the same team, the same club. And we're also previewing Galatasaray tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, actually. It's a 5:45 kickoff for a round of 16 game in Turkey. It's the first leg in Turkey for Liverpool against Galatasaray. Again, another story of revenge and redemption. We all know that obviously Galatasaray beat Liverpool in the league phase earlier on this season, so there is revenge on the mind of Arne Slot's men going there. But are we at all confident going into tomorrow? Is it going to be very awkward? Of course it's going to be very awkward. We're away from home, Turkey, the Ultras. Going to be intimidating circumstances. I know that obviously the away travelling fans are not going to be there for the second leg, I don't think. So that is very much advantage Liverpool. So get back to Anfield with, you know, a win, a draw maybe as the worst possible result, and then see the game out at Anfield. That is obviously the game plan for Liverpool in a nutshell. But we'll get to that later when we come to it. We're obviously going to be talking, like I say, FA Cup quarterfinals. That coming up ahead of what is a busy week for Liverpool. Big up Ballum, who's in the building already. Hey, how you doing, big man? Are you doing good? Lovely to have you here with us. Yeah, Monday. Another day, another week. Happy days. I'm watching you from Southwest London, Balham area. Of course you are, bro. Big up to you and big up to the people there. Cannot believe they lost to last place already. Relegated Wolves are rubbish. They're not really. Here's what I will say about the Wolves game on Friday. I think Wolves somewhat threw that game. I think they somewhat threw that game on Friday night. I think they are focusing heavily on Premier League survival after what has happened this past week in terms of beating they beat Aston Villa. After they beat Aston Villa, and then of course they beat us in the Premier League. I think the belief is somewhat higher right now at Wolves that they can actually stay clear of relegation in this incredible great escape. Do we think it realistically has a chance of happening? Probably not. They would at least need to win 6 of their remaining 8 games. Possible, yes, but very, very difficult. No doubt about it. Maybe it sounds a bit disingenuous to say that, you know, Wolves threw the game a little bit, but I do genuinely think that they didn't quite put as much effort into that game as much as they did the previous game against us. So maybe it is a case of Wolves have more belief in the Premier League than the FA Cup. I don't know, but either way, Liverpool we're actually all right in that game, to be fair. We're actually all right. Cup competitions, for whatever reason, seem to suit us a little bit more this season when we actually take them seriously. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just we're a cup team this year. I don't know. It seems like it's a long, long way away from becoming a realization as to whether or not we're going to win the Champions League or win the FA Cup. But yeah, cup competitions seem to be a bit of our forte this year. So we shall see. Do you think Tottenham will go down or they have no chance? I like it. How you worded the question there. I worry for Spurs now, and I didn't worry about them until they lost to Crystal Palace on Thursday. That was the only time I have worried about Spurs, and I fear for them now of going down. I really, really do. I didn't before that game, but in that Crystal Palace game, I saw no fight. I saw no grit, no determination. All of those things that I saw in Nottingham Forest these past couple of weeks. All of those things that I've seen in even Wolves these past couple of weeks, let alone West Ham, who are closer to Spurs than what Wolves are. I've seen more grit and determination in those three teams alone than what I have seen with Spurs. I fear for Spurs. I worry for Spurs. I feel sorry somewhat for their fans a little bit, some of them at least. But for the majority of Spurs, and which is mainly their board, the people in power over the years, don't feel sorry for them whatsoever. Really, really don't, because they brought this on themselves. Big up Lucky who's in the building. Hope you're doing well, bro. Lovely to have you here with us. Hope you're good. Dortmund lost to Atalanta in the Champions League. You sad or no? Yeah, it's always sad when Dortmund lose, but it was one hell of a game. And Atalanta's reward for knocking out a German team is another German team in the in the round of 16. So good luck to Atalanta against Bayern Munich, because they are definitely going to need it. Anfield will have 100% Liverpool fans. Fabrizio said now. Allison said now. No, Allison for Liverpool. Yeah, because of the behavior of their fans, wasn't it? It's because of the behavior of their fans in the game against Juventus, wasn't it? Which is why they've been banned. I couldn't remember the word. I couldn't remember the word banned, even though I probably just said it about 5 seconds ago. So yeah. Big advantage to Liverpool right off the bat. Big advantage to Liverpool right off the bat. But yeah, it's gonna be a big game. Yeah, I've just seen the Allison stuff as well. Again, I've never known a goalkeeper to have so many injuries. I've never known a goalkeeper to have so many injuries, but we should be okay still. And you know what? I keep saying this. Mamardashvili, he needs more of a chance. I know that obviously Alisson's incredible. I know that Alisson is amazing. I know that Alisson is still one of the best goalkeepers in the world, right? But at the same time, in saying all of that, if you want a contingency plan in place, if you want him to get more experience so that he can come into the starting 11, he can go between the sticks and he can fit in seamlessly, it seems, you need to start bleeding him in a bit more regularly than what you're doing. I'm surprised Mamardashvili didn't start the game against Wolves. I will admit, I'm a bit surprised that he didn't start the FA Cup game. I don't know what the situation is. It seems very strange. Normally we trust our secondary goalkeepers with cup competitions, but for whatever reason it is, we haven't necessarily done that so far this year. So we shall see. How are you doing, Big Eye Meets of Legend? Yeah, you're good, bro. You're good. big man. You're so good. Mark of respect. I wouldn't know. Not my genre of music, bro. I'm not my genre of music. I wouldn't know. Liverpool Cup draw. Do you want Port Vale or Southampton at home? Obviously, I with the way that our season's going, bro, I want to be. I'm gonna be shameless and I'm gonna say like, give us Port Vale, give us Port Vale or Southampton. Give us one of them two. We'll be fine, right? I'll be shameless and say let's go the easy route. Here's what's gonna happen though. We're gonna draw Man City or Chelsea. We're gonna draw Man City or Chelsea. And Arsenal are going to draw Port Vale or Southampton. That's what's going to happen. That is exactly what is going to happen. So there's no point. Arsenal will get the easy draw once again because their FA Cup run so far has been a joke. They're like, cool, beat what's in front of you. No doubt about it. And I'm sure that other teams have got to look before and all of that stuff. But their FA Cup run has been a joke so far. I mean, what? Portsmouth in the third round. Then they got someone else easy. I can't remember who it was. They got someone easy in the fourth round. I can't remember who it was. And then all I remember is it was easy. And then they obviously get Mansfield in the fifth round. And now they're going to get Port Vale. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is. I think Tottenham will bring in Poch in the summer. They might need to replace this interim manager because bad tactics. Liverpool have Tottenham next. As a Liverpool fan, do not know what to expect. Well, I was really confident going into that game before Wolves happened last week. And now I'm not so confident. I really don't know. But I have a sneaky feeling Poch will come back to Spurs, you know. I have a sneaky feeling he will. I feel like Conor Gallagher was a big sign for me that maybe they are trying to get Pochettino back. Conor Gallagher seems like the perfect Pochettino player. So that's my theory behind it anyway. Like it's a weak theory, I get, but it's a theory nonetheless. Cup upset, Southampton and Port Vale through. Port Vale are last place in League One and already relegated. Who do you see progressing tonight in West Ham versus Brentford? On paper, you'd probably go Brentford. Again, I feel like West Ham should put all their efforts and concentration into surviving in the Premier League. For Brentford, this could be another gateway into Europe for them. If they don't obviously make it through the league, this could be a nice safety net to fall back on. Obviously, no one really expects Brentford to go on and win this competition. There are still some big teams left in it. So it's going to be an interesting one, but it's one that I would really expect Brentford to get the victory in. You haven't seen 2025 SpongeBob? I have not. I haven't even shown my daughter SpongeBob yet, so that may be the next step. You want to play a proper team. If you play Port Vale, the manager will roll out the function and you'll play like it's 7-0 from kickoff and concede a stupid goal. Pick up Alf, who's in the building. Lovely to have you here, bro. I mean, I know that obviously the magic of the cup is built upon David versus Goliath encounters. I know that the lesser teams in the competition normally go up against the big teams with nothing to lose. There's almost a free sorry. There's almost like a freedom to their play. They go about their business in a sort of free hit sort of way. Like there's no pressure, which often makes them just play naturally. And that all puts the big pressure on the bigger teams. And if that's the case, then Liverpool obviously have to ride out that pressure. If that obviously does come to fruition, again, I'm not expecting it to. I'm expecting Arsenal to get the easy draw. I'm expecting Liverpool to get the difficult draw. And Man City probably get something in the middle. So you'll probably get the winner of tonight's game, to be fair. Brentford or West Ham. So, yeah, is what it is. Is what it is. Many social media fans want Poch back. Yeah, they do. They want to relive it like it's 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019 all over again. But what can you do? Big up Nems is in the building. Lovely to have you here, bro. I hope you're doing well. I'm good, thank you, bro. I hope you are too. Big up to you, bro. I would love to know what you made of the game on Friday night. Good. What about you, Fledge? I feel Arsenal will get Port Vale at home. They are new Manchester City with easy cup draws. Maybe. No, it's not City tonight. It's Brentford, West Ham. So it's Brentford, West Ham in the FA Cup. City will probably get the winners of those two teams. I want Arsenal. Give me Arsenal. Hey, if the big teams can knock each other out and Liverpool can just sneak through to the final, anything's possible. So I'll gladly take that. I'll gladly take that. If if you two can just knock each other out, and then Chelsea versus Brentford happens, and Chelsea get knocked out by Brentford, Liverpool get Port Vale. Yeah, I'll be happy with all that. Really, really would. That's good, man. That's good. I'm glad you're well. Glad you're all well and good. Manchester versus Arsenal in the cup final in the near future. Yeah, they're playing each other quite a bit these next few games. Well, they've got Carabao Cup, then they've got Premier League, and then you could add FA Cup to it as well. And that's without even the possibility of a Arsenal Manchester City Champions League final, which could be a possibility as well later on down the line. So we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, I thought we did as well. I thought we were actually all right. I don't think we were anything amazing. I don't think we were anything to write home about or anything. I don't think it was outstanding. But I think it was good enough. And of course, you know, with us losing on Tuesday to them in the Premier League and the way that we did, anything was going to be an improvement from that game. I was a little bit surprised that he dropped Ekatike. I was a little bit surprised he moved Gakpo up front. And I was even more surprised he actually started Ngamoa. I just love how he basically went, oh, these Liverpool fans want Ngamoa. So why don't they want Ekatike? I just can't work it out. Because I'm not going to drop Gakpo. Why would his first thought in that situation, Liverpool fans want Ngamoa, be, that means I have to drop Gakpo? Of course, his first thought is move Gakpo to the centre and drop Ekatike. Yes, genius. Well done, Klopp. Stop. Why did I say Klopp? Stop. Well done, stop. Stop. Great. Well done. Slip of the tongue there. Anyway, move on. Absolutely outstanding from in there. It just surprised me. It just surprised me they actually played Ngamoa at all. He had a really good game, actually. I thought he was really, really good. Didn't have the goal or assist to it to show for it, but he had a really good game overall, I thought. It was really good. It was a really good performance. Like I say, one of them annoying ones where you look back at the previous game and you go, why couldn't you play like that before? But again, it's down to the way that Slot sets up. It's down to the way that the players play. It's down to obviously certain players he's got a love and affection for, and whatever else. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Joe Gomez to score against Tottenham, or he will do a Tony Hibbert and never score a goal. That's why I'm praying we get to that Champions League final, bro. I am praying we get to a Champions League final and Joe Gomez scores the winner, 94th minute, to send everybody home happy. It's what he deserves. It's what the guy deserves. No Federico Chiesa for Liverpool against Wolves in the Cup. Was he on the bench? He didn't. I can't remember now. I can't remember if he was on the bench or not. can't remember if he was on the bench. Either way, if he was, let's have a look. He was on the bench. He was on the bench, just wasn't used. He just wasn't used, which kind of tells you everything you need to know about where his future lies this summer. Unfortunately. You have a soft spot for Dortmund. Yeah, I do. I've always liked Dortmund. Even the days of Klopp. Always liked Dortmund. Always found them to be a very good team. Dropped off a little bit these past few years. Not quite as strong as what they were, but yeah, they always have nice shirts as well. Nice shirts, great fans, lovely club. Lovely club. Ryan Gravenberch signed a new deal. Yeah, what do we think of that, by the way? I was going to drop it later in, but seeing as though Ballum's already brought it up, we might as well discuss it a little bit now. Ryan Gravenberch's new deal. What do we make of that? Good piece of business by Liverpool. Bad piece of business by Liverpool. For me, I'm slightly on the fence with it. I'm slightly on the fence with this new deal. If he hasn't lost his legs, if he's still physically okay, if he's just going for a bit of a rough patch right now, and that's all it is, fine, a fantastic piece of business. A versatile midfielder that can do whatever. A versatile midfielder that can that can basically do it all, really. Not really much of a playmaker as such, but in terms of being a midfield engine, in terms of being a stopper, like in the middle of the pitch, in terms of his tackling, in terms of keeping the ball, moving the ball on very simplistically but effectively, I think it's a good move. But if his legs are gone, if his legs are completely gone from underneath him, I think this is a risky piece of business. I think this is a risky piece of business. I don't know. The beauty of Gravenberch is that he can play a 6 in certain games. If we actually buy a proper 6, if we buy like an Adam Wharton, for example, we could move Gravenberch further afield. And I feel like we could get a bit more out of Ryan Gravenberch. He could probably be a number 8, for example. Doesn't have to be the 6 all the time. I just think right now we've played him in a lot of games over the past 2 years, especially, that I just think maybe he's going through a rough patch, or maybe he just is so incredibly fatigued and tired that he just isn't performing to the level that we know he can do. He went through this a little bit last year as well, towards this time of the season. He just completely dropped off in his performances. So I don't know whether this is like a regular occurrence, whether we're just playing him too much, whether he's just not had enough people covering him. But I'm intrigued by this. I am very much intrigued by Ryan Gravenberch signing a new deal. Free Chiesa, he will likely leave. Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're right. Unless obviously the only way that Chiesa stays is if Slot leaves at the end of the season and a new manager comes in and takes a real shining to Chiesa. That's the only thing I think saves Chiesa at Liverpool. Big up Luca Talks Dons in the building. Lovely to have you here, bro. Guys, go and subscribe to Luca's channel, doing some awesome stuff over there. MK Dons fan and an Arsenal fan as well to boot. So if you want to broaden your footballing horizons, then Luca Talks Dons is the place to be. Go and subscribe and showing us some love and some support. I'm good, thank you, bro. I hope you're doing well as well. Big up to you. Where did you buy your... I think I bought it from the... I can't remember. It was either from like a Sports Direct kind of place or whether it was online. I can't remember. Because I got two at the same time, but I bought one at one and one at the other, and I can't remember which way around it was. So yeah, I can't remember. It might have been an online shop. I definitely know one was online and one was not. I bought 2 different shirts at the same time. Or pretty much on the same day. Gravenberch, good deal that was. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm inclined to agree with you, but I also have some reservations over whether or not long term wise it might turn out that way. Maybe I've got PTSD from like Fabinho, Henderson when their legs completely fell off and gave way. Maybe I've got too much PTSD from those 2 players in particular, but for me, Gravenberch, great player. I'm just concerned. I'm just a little concerned. Thoughts on Alexis contract talks not happening yet? Again, there's a lot surrounding Alexis McAllister as well. Not only in terms of Real Madrid seemingly sniffing around for him, but again, he's another player that I worry his legs may have gone as well. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, we can't seem to sign midfielders whose legs stayed with them for longer than 2 or 3 years. So I'm a little concerned with McAllister. He's been a little bit in and out the squad this season. And when he has been in, hasn't exactly had the same consistent impact that he did last year. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of McAllister either. I love McAllister, by the way. I think when he plays, I think Liverpool are so much better when he plays properly in comparison to when he's not quite fully firing on all cylinders. Crystal Palace and Southampton are staying up in the end. Yeah, they'll be safe. They'll be safe. Maybe not 12th again, but they'll be safe. No doubt about that. Big up Dean is in the building. Lovely to have you here, bro. Hope you're doing well. So, hope you're okay, folks. What's your feelings for Tuesday? I'm doing good, thanks, man. I hope you are too. Tuesday, Galatasaray. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be awkward first leg. It's going to be a very, very awkward first leg. Like I say, I would take a draw right now. I would take a boring, dull, 0-0 draw right now away from home in Turkey, Galatasaray. I would take that and I would go back to Anfield and absolutely destroy them there. Destroy them at Anfield second leg. As we pointed out earlier, it's going to be 100% Liverpool fans in that stadium. There's going to be no away fans from Galatasaray in Anfield on that night. So we'll have the complete advantage going into it. We can control the atmosphere. We can control the hostility. We can control the pressure on those Galatasaray players. What we don't want to do is lose it in the first leg and then have a mountain to climb in the second. What we don't want to do is have them come back to Anfield and no matter what pressure we put them under, them manage to stink the place out and manage to hold on to whatever lead they get in the first leg. So as a bare minimum, go for a draw. As a bare minimum, draw, maximum, win. Do not lose the first leg. Do not lose the first. I don't want to be sat here Wednesday morning embarrassed. I don't want to be sat here Wednesday morning embarrassed that we lost the game again. I don't want that. Really, really do not want that. So we shall see. Free Calvin Ramsey, he won't play. It's mad, isn't it? It's mad, but it is what it is. On the upside, Jeremy Frimpong's back now. Florian Wirtz is back. So we're getting a couple of our players back. So that is at least a positive. Victor Osimhen is a good player for them. Helped Napoli win the league and can score a goal or two. A player to keep quiet for the match. Yeah, absolutely. We know how dangerous Osimhen is. We know that he was dangerous from his days at Napoli. We suffered from that, I believe, when we played Napoli a few years ago. So we know exactly what Victor Osimhen's all about. We also know that they've got other players as well that they can rely on. It's not exactly like it's a one-man team or anything. Galatasaray are solid. They're worthy of being at this stage of the competition. And of course, their first leg really, really did put them into this stage, because their first leg was enough to kind of make it too big of a mountain for Juventus to climb. Not that them going down to 10 men kind of helped in that second leg, but at the same time, that didn't help them. But their first leg heroics kind of saved them a little bit, and they were able to go on and see the game out in the second. So we know exactly how difficult they can be when they're at home. Juventus found that out very, very quickly in their game. So never a foregone conclusion. Liverpool should be winning this, though. Let's be real about this. Like, I would take a draw, but at the same time, like, I'm expecting a win. You know what I mean? We should be winning this game. We should have revenge on our minds. But at the same time, in saying all of that, strategic-wise, you know, if we were to get a draw, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world if we get a draw. We shall see. Yeah, I was going to say Victor Osimhen is he's the main character, isn't he? He's the main character in Galatasaray's squad. We all know him. We all know that a lot of defenders fear him. We all know this. It's not like it's a well-kept secret or anything. We know that, obviously, if it wasn't for maybe his wage demands, he could have been in the Premier League by now. And I would love to have seen him if he could cut it in the Premier League. We shall see. We shall see. That's it. I'm sure physically Konate and Van Dijk can match up to the challenge. But then again, Wolves happened. So, again, you never know, and especially with a Liverpool defence, you never know. You never know about a Liverpool attack, especially this season. You never know whether a Liverpool attack is going to be sharp or be blunt, and you never know whether or not Victor Osimhen will turn up, and he will either be non-existent in the game because Konate and Van Dijk are imperious, or whether or not Konate and Van Dijk are making stupid errors and mistakes. We shall find out. We shall find out. Are you surprised Inter? As you say, Inter are out? They were in the UCL final last season and in a final in 2023 to Manchester City. I'm a little bit surprised, but Inter are going after the league, and they've got a very good opportunity at winning that league in Italy this year. So Inter are probably putting all their eggs in that basket of Serie A. Fair play to them. They're quite ahead, aren't they? From what I remember, 7 points. They're 7 points ahead of their nearest rival was AC Milan. Obviously, AC Milan scored bragging rights over them this past weekend in the Milan derby. AC Milan won by 1-0. So they are putting all their eggs in the Serie A basket. It would just be quite hilarious if they managed to bottle it from that point, and then they don't have Champions League to fall back on. It would just be kind of funny. But yeah, it is kind of surprising they're not in the knockout stages. They didn't get past Bodo Glimt. Bodo Glimt, by the way, fair play to them. And I guess they're kind of everybody's backup soft spot team this year. I guess everybody is seemingly aboard the Bodo Glimt train. So fair play to the Norwegian side, and hopefully they can get far. Hopefully they meet Arsenal in the quarterfinals and knock them out. But yeah, I doubt it. Unfortunately, I would love to see it happen. I would love. There's 3 things I would love from the Champions League this year. Number 1, obviously, Liverpool to win it for a 7th time. That would be that's the top tippity tip top priority, right? Liverpool to win it for a 7th time. That is what I want, number one, to happen, right? But number two to happen, I would like Tottenham as a sort of last hurrah this season to make it to the semi-finals and knock Arsenal out, therefore setting up a repeat of the 2019 Champions League final of Liverpool versus Tottenham. I would love it if Tottenham were to knock Arsenal out of the competition. That would be hilarious to me. Or Bodo Glimt go all the way to the final. Bodo Glimt go all the way to the final. And again, that could set up a final between Liverpool and Bodo Glimt, which would be crazy in of itself. But, either way, one of Bodo Glimt or Tottenham to knock Arsenal out of the competition would be sweet. Very sweet. Would be wonderful. I got what you mean, bro. I got what you mean. Who would you prefer out of PSG or Chelsea? Probably Chelsea. I would like to reignite the Liverpool-Chelsea Champions League rivalry that was going on for so many years between Rafa Benitez and Jose Mourinho. I'd like to reignite that. But again, not only that, but I know that PSG aren't exactly the same PSG as what they were last year, but I think even a 50% PSG could absolutely wipe the floor with us. Whereas a Chelsea team at 100%, okay, it's not a given, it's not a guarantee, but I think we've probably got more of a chance of beating 100% Chelsea rather than a 50% PSG team. I just have a fear that that's the case there. So I would probably prefer Chelsea to go the easier route. All I know, Bayern will win Bundesliga already. Yeah, that's a given. Bayern will win the Bundesliga. If they can win Champions League as well, then the conversations will really crank up for Harry Kane winning Ballon d'Or this year. If he has a good World Cup, that would make it a dead cert. So, we shall see. Wolfsburg company team are in relegation zone and could go to the Bundesliga 2. Volkswagen, it's crazy. I still reckon you should take Bayern out of the Bundesliga for a year or two. Make Bundesliga really competitive. Really competitive other than Bayern. Just take them out for a year or two. Make it more fun. Because you're not going to get a Bayer Leverkusen invincible, are you? Consistently or constantly. Like, they happen every so often in leagues like that. You look at the French league, for example. I think over the past 10 years, there has been 3 winners. And 8 of those times has been PSG. It might actually be, I can't remember when did Monaco win it? Monaco might have won it before 2016. My years may be all over the place. But either way, last 10, 15 years, say. That's 15 years. 13 of those times have been PSG. One time Monaco. And the other time Lille. Bundesliga. Same thing. Except there's only Bayern and Leverkusen. Before that, you have to go back to 2011 when Jurgen Klopp's Borussia Dortmund won the Bundesliga. Take out Bayern for a year and watch how competitive that league gets and how exciting that league will become. Just saying. Big up JD who's in the building. Lovely to have you here, my friend. It says we are getting beat of Galatasaray. Fair enough if you think that way. I'm going into it on a bit more positive than that. But fair enough if you think that way. This is what we're all here for diverse and different of opinions and predictions. I like it. I don't obviously like the outcome if that actually does happen. Of course not. But I like the difference of opinion, like I say. I can't see us losing it across two legs. I really can't. Like I say, I think the worst case scenario on Tuesday is that we come out of there with a draw. I think a draw is the worst result we get. And that's not even a bad result considering we go back to Anfield. We have 100% of the crowd in our favour. We should get the job done from there. So I'm kind of backing Liverpool to get the job done by hook or by crook. But Bundesliga is a farmers' league. Can't lie. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, if you want the kind of modern day definition of farmers' league, then yes, it is. There's like I say, there's an anomaly in there of Leverkusen going unbeaten, winning the league, winning the German domestic cup as well, Bayern winning nothing and even finishing third that season. There's an anomaly there. There is a big anomaly there. Massive for German football, massive for Leverkusen, massive for Xabi Alonso and all of those Leverkusen players at that time. But it's an anomaly. Bayern restored their crown the year after. Bayern are still going strong. Bayern have still got a head and shoulders advantage over the entirety of the league. Maybe one day that will even itself out a little bit. Maybe one day, I don't know, Bayern, the playing field for Bayern and the rest of the teams in Germany will level out a little bit. Maybe one day that might happen. Until then, though, I don't know. Dean says that I am pleased Gravenberch has signed a new contract and committed himself to Liverpool. I know he hasn't been great for us this season, but I still feel he can be so important for us. Yeah, that may be the case, bro. Like I say, I've still got PTSD from Fabinho and Henderson days where they absolutely dropped off a cliff in their final season. I still have probably PTSD from that kind of phase, and that's why I'm a little bit worried that our midfielders that have played so many games might kind of fall off a little bit. Like I say, I think we might be slightly seeing it with Alexis McAllister. I'm hoping not. I'm obviously hoping not. But I think it could be a slight possibility with McAllister. So I'm hoping not. It could be a possibility though. We shall see in the end. But yeah, it's very interesting to see what the future will hold for Ryan Gravenberch going forward. And again, I think it's obviously to show a signal of intent, of course, the new contract signing, but it's also to protect a potential investment. Let's say, I don't know, Bayern Munich come back in for him in a year or two's time. Let's say Real Madrid come in for him. Let's say Barcelona potentially do, or whoever. If he continues his development, those teams are going to come knocking on the door and we can turn around to them and go, you can have him, but you're going to have to pay a lot of money for him. So, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is when it comes to that kind of discussion point. Anyway, through to the FA Cup quarterfinals, through to the round of 16 of the Champions League this week. Tottenham then at the weekend in the Premier League. So we've got a massively hectic week ahead of us. I'm glad we beat Wolves, obviously. I'm glad we somewhat redeemed and redeemed ourselves after. I'm somewhat glad that we redeemed ourselves after what was a horrible, horrible week. But yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys, whether you guys are bothered about performances now, or if you're just on about getting results. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you guys interested in the performances? Are you guys interested more in the results? Do you want a bit of both? Are you completely resigned because of how draining this season has been? I'd love to know what you guys are thinking and feeling about the season and about what has been going on. Because I'm not sure anymore, man. I'm wanting Slot to be sacked for the betterment and the upgrade of Liverpool Football Club. I'm wanting that. That doesn't mean that I haven't closed my mind off to the possibility that Liverpool can get better under Slot, and maybe Slot does manage to keep his job. And the only way that I think he'll do that is if obviously, you know, he wins the Champions League. We shall see. We shall see. Did you just see the news? The news on Alisson Becker? Is that what you're on about, Kinsman? Big up to you, by the way. I hope you're doing well, my bro. Is that the news you're on about, Alisson Becker? Oh, my contact lens just slipped out for a sec. Yeah, we saw it. Big loss, but I've never known a goalkeeper to pick up so many injuries. I've never known a goalkeeper to pick up so many injuries. It's such a shame. It is such a shame. I don't get it. I really don't get it with Alisson. Like, incredible goalkeeper, still one of the world's best. But how can you still pick up injury after injury every single year? And it's the same injury every single year, and it's at the same times every single year. It's crazy. Look, Mamardashvili, we should have bled him in a bit more by now, I think, than what we have done so far this season. I think getting knocked out the Carabao Cup didn't help. But even so, I still would have liked to have seen Mamardashvili in for a few more of the Premier League games this year. And even then, we still haven't played him in the FA Cup games. So I've got no idea what the situation is with Mamardashvili. Because usually, like as I said at the top of the video, we're normally a club that does put a lot of trust in our second choice goalkeeper, whether rightly or wrongly. Rightly in Kelleher's case, wrongly in other cases. We do put a lot of trust in our second choice goalkeepers for cup competitions. So I'm a little bit surprised that Mamardashvili didn't start against Wolves. But now he definitely will start against Galatasaray. So we shall see. We shall see what happens. But I'm glad that he's going to get another opportunity to showcase himself. Fingers crossed for him. Fingers crossed he puts in another good performance. And even if he doesn't get a clean sheet out of it, hopefully we're all saying like it wasn't down to him as to why the clean sheet didn't happen. Like, I hope it's another one of them, like, it's an unstoppable shot, it's a mistake from other people, or whatever the case may be. Because, like I say, we need a contingency plan in place for when Alisson does leave. And Alisson is closer to the end of his Liverpool career than he is at the beginning. So, Mamardashvili is the contingency plan. But for whatever reason, that contingency plan has not been seen a lot this year. So, there's a lot to sort of digest there. What's your score prediction for the Spurs game, Fletcher? I think Liverpool 3, Spurs 0. I'm confident for that. I'm not that confident. I'm confident we'll win, but I'm not that confident. I think 2-1. I think we'll win 2-1. And the only reason why I say we'll win 2-1 is Spurs will go there, sat deep, low block, disciplined for the most part until we get one goal. Hard to break down, stubborn, partially because Liverpool's attack will be predictable. Liverpool's attack will be slow. And then Florian Wirtz will light the game up. If Florian Wirtz will light the game up, that's my prediction. Florian Wirtz will light the game up. Liverpool will get a couple of goals from his creativity, whether directly or indirectly. Liverpool will go 2-0 up. We'll concede with about 10 minutes to go. It'll be very similar, actually, to how we played in December, where we went 2-0 up, conceded late on. Probably Spurs might not go down to 10 men, but you never know. It's Spurs. And then we should go from there. So I'm going 2-1. Obviously, Spurs are going to be without Mickey van der Ven, which is a big miss for them. Big absentee there. Is Romero back for this? I want to say Romero's back for this game, but I could be wrong. Or is he already back? I can't remember. Did he play against Palace? I can't remember. Oh no, that was probably. I think that was his last game suspended, actually. So I think Romero will be back for this game as Van der Ven goes, which is typical revolving door at Tottenham. So Romero will be back. Interesting to see what his reaction is to coming back into the team. Interesting. This will be the first time that I actually see Romero under this new manager as well. Yeah, I think I just see Spurs trying to stink the place out, trying to stink the place up, try and play for a draw as a minimum, frustrate Liverpool, frustrate the crowd, and then as soon as one goal opens, I think it'll be easy for Liverpool. But then in true Liverpool fashion, Richarlison will score for Spurs because Richarlison always scores for Spurs. He always saves his goals for Liverpool, and they never turn out to be important ones either. So this will be another case of Richarlison scoring an unimportant goal. And Liverpool will win 2-1 because we'll let them back in. We'll have a nervy 10 minutes towards the end of the game, and we'll see the game out by the skin of our teeth. Like I don't have that much confidence to go 3-0 as you do, my friend. But fingers crossed that you are actually right. I hope that you are right. I really hope that we actually go there and we get the job done with minimum fuss, minimum amount of effort, and it's a relatively straightforward afternoon. But it's Liverpool Football Club. Things very rarely work out that way for Liverpool. So we shall see. We shall see. But it is completely crazy. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But yeah, it is a massive week. It's a massive week. Like I say, FA Cup has been and gone. Is the quarterfinal draw before the game tonight? It's before the West Ham Brentford game. I didn't know if it was before or after. I don't know if they're going to draw it after. So yeah, it'll be made before tonight. 8 teams obviously left in it, including Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Leeds United as well are also in it. I forgot Leeds are in it. As well as Liverpool, of course, with Port Vale being the lowest ranked side in the competition. Southampton also being there from the Championship, and then another Premier League team will join those 7 when either West Ham or Brentford win tonight. So that's going to be big in of itself. It's going to be a big, big draw. Like I say, for us, we're probably going to get Chelsea. Man City will get the winner of Brentford versus West Ham. Chelsea will, like I say, Liverpool will get Chelsea. Arsenal will get Port Vale, and it will be a Leeds versus Sunderland quarterfinal. Just to sort of make sure that a team that you don't normally expect to get to the latter stages of the competition get to the latter stage of the competition. Not only that as well, but you also kind of need a slightly easier game for Arsenal to get through to the final with in the semi-finals. So Arsenal will probably get the winner of Leeds versus Southampton in the semi-finals, and Liverpool Chelsea will get the winner of Man City versus Brentford, which will likely be Man City. But yeah, that's probably the draw. That is probably the draw, and I've just predicted it right here and now. If we get, like I say, it'll be surprising if we get an easy draw out of this. Very surprising if we get an easy draw out of it. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Just got to beat what's in front of you, haven't you? Just got to beat what's in front of you. So final word then. Galatasaray up tomorrow. Score predictions in the chat, people. Score predictions in the chat. Liverpool versus Galatasaray. We'll go with the first leg first. I think it's going to be 1-1. I think it's going to be a very frustrating 1-1 draw. Could be, actually. I'm sticking with 1-1. I think it's going to be a very frustrating draw for Liverpool. Galatasaray are going to sit there. They're going to try and do what they did earlier on in the season. They're going to try and frustrate Liverpool. They're going to try and win cheap free kicks. They're going to try and do everything they can to stop the momentum of the game, upset Liverpool's rhythm, which is not difficult to do when you're playing slot ball, because slot ball is so boring and predictable. Liverpool will go 1-0. No, Galatasaray go 1-0. Galatasaray go 1-0 as per usual. Liverpool concede first. Liverpool will get back into it in the second half. Maybe Florian Wirtz will do a moment of magic. And there'll be a moment of magic of some kind because, apart from opposition basically handing us a goal, we can't really do much else. Maybe a bit of Wirtz trickery, wizardry. Liverpool score. Liverpool fight to get a winning goal. Doesn't really come. Full-time whistle goes. We take it back to Anfield at 1-1, and then we get the job done at Anfield as a bare minimum. Obviously, look, I'd love for us to absolutely smash Galatasaray tomorrow night. I'd love for us to go and absolutely hammer them by 5-0, something like that. And that means that the second leg is pretty much done and dusted. But I don't see it panning out that way properly, unfortunately. I just don't, unfortunately. I just don't. I can see 2-2 first leg. I was debating that. I was debating 1-1 or 2-2. I can see 2-2 first leg, Desmond. And Liverpool will win at Anfield 2-0, 4-2 overall on aggregate. Yeah, I mean, I can see that happening as well. Something along those lines. Yeah, I have to agree with you, Dean. I think we're on the same wavelength there, my bro. So something similar. Again, I'm sticking with my 1-1 first leg, so slightly different to yours. And maybe at Anfield it will be something like a 2-1 or a 3-1 or something along those lines. Because we always concede. Let's be real. Like, we always concede chances, we always concede opportunities, and then we always concede the most stupidest of goals. I mean, take the goal the other night. Take the goal the other night as prime example. Like, we're cruising at 3-0, and then a long ball from the goalkeeper, and then suddenly Wolves are through on goal. We don't deal with the bounce, we don't deal with the long ball, and Wolves are through. Again, preventable goal. Could have happened to anyone, granted, but I still think it's a somewhat preventable goal if you just take authority of the situation. But yeah, that's what Liverpool do. We leak and concede stupid goals. And I'm expecting potentially a similar story across both legs. Against Spurs, again, Richarlison will score an unimportant goal because that's what Richarlison does against Liverpool. He scores very unimportant goals. He'll take his shirt off. He'll do his stupid chicken dance and whatever. Who cares? It's Richarlison, little rat. Get in the bin. And Liverpool get the job done, hopefully, then as well. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. We're going to wrap it up there, guys. Slightly shorter one than usual, but I've got things to do, places to be. Big up to each and every single one of you that's joined me on this Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Monday evening, wherever you're watching from, depending on what time zone you're in. Depending on if you're watching this back on playback. Wherever you're watching from, I appreciate each and every single one of you. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you for the love and support to the channel. As always, feel free to continue to show your love and support to the channel by liking this very video, this very live stream. Hit the subscribe button as well. If you are new to the channel and want to see more content like this, then please do that. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated from each and every single one of you. Good chat, Fletch. Thanks, mate. No, thank you, my dude. Appreciate each and every single one of you being here. Appreciate each and every single one of you in the chat talking some football with me for the past hour or so. You guys are absolutely awesome. As always, thank you all so much for watching and for listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I'll soon speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again. Bye-bye soon.